I'm here with Chitra B Divakaruni. She's the best-selling author of books like Palace of Illusions, Forest of Enchantments, Palace of Illusions being my favorite, one of my early introductions to retellings of mythologies, and I absolutely love that book. And she has a new book out on Jindan Kaur. I think you can see the book. It's called The Last Queen, and it's fascinating look at a historical figure that hasn't been really written about much or talked about much or celebrated as much as, say, Jhansi Ki Rani. I want to know what fascinated you about her to write a book.
Rani Jinda was, as you said, she has been kind of forgotten or pushed aside, whereas other heroines of the resistance against the British have not. And I hope to tell you later how I came across Rani Jinda. But the first thing I had to do was, after I decided that hers was an amazing story, I really had to do a lot of digging. So first of all, I got the books, and then COVID struck. So my digging resources became limited. And most interestingly for my research, at the end of her life, through many complex movements for many complex reasons, Rani Jinda is going to end up in London, where she will spend her last years with her son. Even though she really hates the British for what they've done to her, she loves her son more, so she goes over there.
So what struck you? So did you decide on her before writing the book? Did you decide that, okay, you're going to write about her? Or did you read this material and then thought, okay, this should be my next heroine? What preceded your... And if you decided on Jindan, why? Like, what was it about her story that struck you?
So I did not know about her, but I was in Kolkata at the literary meet. I was there to speak about one of my previous books. And as I came into the auditorium, the previous speaker was finishing up, and that was William Dalrymple, and he was talking about his book, Kohinoor. And he, at the time when I walked in, and I think this was serendipitous, it was meant to be, he had just put on the screen the painting of Maharani Jinda, which is on the cover of The Last Queen now. And when I heard just that little part of the story and I saw her face on the screen, I don't know, something happened. I'm a very visual person. I could really feel the magnetism of Rani Jinda. And that's when I said, I got to research this woman, because I think there's a story here. And if I didn't know about her, then probably many people don't. And she's really worth bringing back into our memory, because she was a fighter.
Two of your most celebrated books were about women from mythology, Draupadi and Sita. And now you've moved to a person from history. So what was the transition like?
I made extensive notes about all the different ways in which Draupadi and Sita have been portrayed, especially in the case of Sita in the Forest of Enchantments. This was very important, because one of the things I felt about Sita is that there's a great misunderstanding of who she is. When I'm doing history, it's much more stringent, because there are many more sources, both primary and secondary. And I had to read them very carefully, because I want the story to be true. It is my interpretation, but I want it to be true to the facts.
Would you call your books feminist retellings? Would you label them as such?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, I don't like labels, especially when they come with a lot of baggage, because if I call my books feminist, there's a whole population of readers who would be like, no, I don't want to read a feminist book. They won't go beyond it to see, well, in what way is this book feminist? So I like the word woman-centered. All my books are definitely woman-centered. That is definitely by design. I feel strongly that through history, through society, through our retellings of myth, women have always been pushed aside.